the namesake of the Mosby heritage area, Colonel John Singleton Mosby. I think most of you have had an opportunity at one point or another in your life to run into Mosby. But I will tell you that having a namesake as controversial as John Singleton Mosby for the Mosby heritage area is either A, terribly fearful, or from my perspective as a public historian, absolutely delicious. Mosby had joined the cavalry. He joined the 1st Virginia Cavalry. He ended up being a scout for famous cavalry general James Will Brown Stewart. Jets?
And all of a sudden there was a commotion that had awakened me from a very deep slumber, and I turned over to find an indentation where my husband had laid not 30 seconds earlier. Knowing that he probably had to skedaddle, I grabbed my wrapper as soon as I could for modesty's sake, when all of a sudden 3 Union soldiers just barged right into my bedchamber. I made sure that they knew the inappropriateness of the hour.
As the Civil War went and dragged on, and we hit the spring of 1864, President Lincoln had appointed a new general-in-chief, the successful Western General Ulysses S. Grant. He will accompany the Army of the Potomac, commanded by the victor at Gettysburg, General Meade, side of what is today Route 340, and attack a huge wagon train winding its way down from Harper's Ferry to Berryville, where they would take a right turn, go to Winchester, and then get on the Valley Turnpike to head south. At dawn that morning, Mosby's men fired rapid rounds at the wagon train, stopped, watering, and sleeping. And the men will charge down off that hill. The Berryville wagon train raid. That will begin a series of events that you will hear upstairs, which turns the war experience in Clark County from Tuckahoe and brave old men fighting to something that we never dreamed we would see. This is the floor that you would visit if you visited the mill. And from here we thought we would begin to explore that story of everyday life in Clark as everyday life dies in August of 1864. So
A shadow whispers orders, his men obey. As down the slope cavalry horses pound, upon the sleeping army they have found. Who knows how many slept eternal that day.
Now, towards early morning, shots were fired. This is when the boys and I jumped out of bed and ran down the hall to the doc's room. We opened the door and he shot up out of bed, and before we even asked him a question, he said, "Mosby."
And one night I was laying in bed awake when my mom should have been asleep. And well, all of a sudden I heard this whoosh sound, this smoke smell coming from my window, and I got up and I jolted and I looked out the window, and all I could see were these bright orange dancing flames, and I knew that those damn Yankees had been burning down our fields and they were burning down our barn. They were going to take our house, and I was under the impression that they were under the order of some man named Chapman, and we could hear him yell, "No quota! No quota! Take no prisoners!" And we looked at him and we just started to cry because we were afraid we were going to lose everything. And I looked, and in the dark of the night, I saw Mosby's Rangers, and they were going to charge him, and I saw their gleaming Colt 44s.
10 prisoners were taken. None survived. Yes, 10 Union 5th Cavalry, 5th Michigan Cavalry prisoners were told to kneel alongside the driveway. And Mosby's men went down that line with Colt 44 to the head of each band, except for the last 2. We don't quite know what to make of it, but we do know that it means that the Cavalier War that we have heretofore thought of has in a week's time changed.
You have to get all those things in advance, kind of.
Hancock sent Mosby a letter.
saying that if he surrendered, all he would have to do was give up his guns and his horse and go home after signing a parole release. Mosby replied that he didn't give a damn if he had surrendered, he was going to keep fighting. This made Hancock angry. Hancock said that if he didn't surrender, he was going to send infantry and cavalry into Fauquier and Loudon. He was going to break up Mosby's command by force.
Soldiers, I have summoned you together for the last time. The vision we have cherished for a free and independent country has vanished, and that country is now the spoil of a conqueror. I disband your organization in preference to surrendering it to our enemies. I am now no longer your commander.